Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? This is Todd from No Picks Podcast.
What's up, fam? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
All right, Joseph, check this out. I found this clip on TikTok today. Sometimes TikTok be giving us some nice little nuggets, right? But the NAACP came out with a poll talking about how black men are leaning in this upcoming presidential election. And I'm gonna pull up the clip, and you and I are gonna talk about it.
All right.
Released a poll on Friday that showed while Black Americans overwhelmingly identify as Democrats, over 1/4 of Black men under 50 said they would support the Republican candidate in this year's election. Why do you think that younger male Black voters are changing their association like this?
I think there's especially for younger Black men, there is a frustration. But it's not necessarily frustration with Vice President Harris, and it's not even frustration with the Democratic Party. Frankly, it's a frustration of the pace of progress in America. I think about my state. In my state, when I was inaugurated, we had an 8-to-1 racial wealth gap in the state of Maryland. And that's not because one group was working 8 times harder. That's because of historical policies and circumstances. When I'm the third African-American ever elected governor in the history of the United States. That's not because I'm only the third African-American ever qualified to be a governor. And so I think the thing that we continue to see, and frankly, I think that debate was actually a perfect illustration where for many of us, we grew up being told by our family members, you've got to work 10 times as hard in order to get ahead, in order to get an opportunity. We saw Donald Trump walk on that debate stage uniquely and historically unprepared. And because he thinks he can win on a whim. And so I think the frustration that people feel is real. But I think the thing that we're continuing to push to a lot of voters, particularly African-American voters, is that Donald Trump is a vessel to the skepticism. But what he is not is actually a vehicle for the solution.
The NAACP released a poll.
So he's the governor of Maryland, right? But anyway, what's your thoughts on what he said?
I feel like his response was a little bit everywhere, so I'm trying to focus in on a few points.
Yeah.
But the two things I disagree with, right? He was saying that for Black men, it's not that they're disappointed or frustrated with the Democratic Party. BS. A lot of us are frustrated with the Democratic Party. A lot of us are frustrated with Kamala. We are frustrated that we don't see ourselves reflected in the Democratic Party, that we feel like Black and brown men, and we've talked about this before, feel emasculated. We don't feel reflected in your party. We don't feel like our issues matter. We don't feel, you know what I mean? It's all about, I am women, hear me roar, prop up women, and like putting women on a pedestal. Like we want reproductive rights. Like everything is about women, identity politics. I'm with her, like all this crap. So as a man, I just feel like as a Black man, it feels like I don't know, man. It's so easy to just like be turned off or deterred from the Democratic Party. But I do have my frustrations with the Democrats and with Kamala. So so that's my first thought. I can get deeper into that, but that's my initial thought, right? What did you think about what he said?
I mean, what he said didn't make sense to me because it didn't. What he said didn't explain why people aren't supporting Kamala, but are supporting Trump. So he's saying like, okay, well, they're frustrated not with the Democratic Party, but with the pace of America in general. Okay, so if they're not frustrated with the Democratic Party, why wouldn't we just follow suit and keep voting with the Democratic Party?
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. So if we're not frustrated with the Democratic Party, but we're frustrated in America in general, why would we switch? Why would 25% of Black men under 50 switch our allegiances from Democrat to Republican? And I'm one of that 25%.
Right.
So you know what I mean.
And,
so you're good.
Well, he phrased it as part of his argument was they're voting for Trump because they see him as a vehicle to their skepticism. So basically, because we're skeptical of the Democratic Party and we're not sure what's going to happen, that's pushing us towards just voting for Trump because we don't know. And basically assuming that Black men are uninformed when they vote. They don't know what they're voting for. Like I feel like they don't know where they stand, and it's just like, bro, like there's an awakening happening with men. With Black, we're talking about Black men now, but like with men in general, there's awakening happening again. And as men are becoming more conservative and women are becoming much more liberal, we see studies showing that as well. There's a political disconnect between the sexes now. Men are becoming much more conservative, women are becoming more liberal. So there are a lot of reasons why men are being pushed to the conservative side, because at least with the conservative side, you said Trump is going to the MMA matches, Trump is going to the boxing matches, to the wrestling matches, Trump is going to the male-dominated spaces to talk about them. Trump is walking around with this masculine bravado. Whether or not you feel like it's a facade or not, don't matter. He
Yeah.
carries that. You know what I'm saying? So, and he also mentions black men and black people. Like he talks about him unlike the Democratic Party or like Kamala, who doesn't mention it specifically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know, bro. I don't like this idea of him thinking that we're voting for Trump because we're just confused and we're skeptical and we
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I'm like, nah, bro. Don't try to act like we're misinformed or you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
didn't like that part.
Yeah.
I
I
wasn't
mean,
feeling that.
I'll speak for me as one of that 25% that he's talking about that's kind of peeling off at this election. But bro, like it's just I don't see the Democratic Party as being useful in any way whatsoever, particularly
Yeah.
for men. But like I don't see it being used. Like like I said, I voted Democrat forever. You know what I mean? Like nothing has ever changed. Nothing will ever change because they don't have an incentive to make anything change. Like
Right.
when when political parties value a voting block, they give you something, right? So
Right.
they make sure like both Democrats and Republicans value old people, right? So they're like, yo, we will not do anything to Social Security. We will fight that tooth and nail, even though it's killing the country as far as debt goes and all that stuff. They don't care. They're going to keep giving Social Security and Medicare to older people because they know older people vote. That's a consistent voting block that they can appeal to and be like, okay, cool. And it's an automatic killer when either party says, hey, we're gonna stop or Social Security or we got to do something else or we got to increase the retirement age. Those people they lose old people 1,000% of the time. They be like, oh, wait, hold up, and they end up having to walk that back. Like Nikki Haley had to walk that back. I remember being like, all right, well, listen, maybe we shouldn't raise it, but we should figure something out. But it's a
Right.
losing argument whenever you talk about taking something away from that voting block because those old people ain't got nothing else to do but watch more reruns and go vote. So
Right.
if you want to win them, you got to say something that they want. You got to give them something, and that give them something is normally, hey, we not messing with Social Security, even though it's a losing program. We ain't messing with Social Security, right?
Right.
So with black people, why can't we be the same? Why can't the Democratic Party, since we always vote Democrat, say, hey, we're gonna give y'all something? Y'all don't give us nothing.
Right.
I think they give specific people something, whether
Right.
it's, you know what I mean, a place in the cabinet or whatever the case is. But like black people as a whole never benefit by voting Democrat. So if that's the
Right.
case, why not just see if something
Why
changes
not?
by voting for Trump? Like that's like why
Why not? Right.
we can't lose anything because we've never gotten anything anyway.
We've never gotten anything right, and I love that point, Ty. And I just want to speak up to the family because I know this is coming. I know that this criticism is coming, which is like, oh, you guys are just like a whole pro-Trump channel. First of all, if you've seen enough of our videos, I hate both parties. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm more than likely going to vote third party. I could never vote for Kamala or Trump. Right? Ty's on the Trump train. We're not judging voters. We're not shaming voters. Right? The Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats do enough of that. They shame voters enough for that. I'm not going to shame voters. You are American. You're an American. You have the right to vote and exercise that political right and vote for whoever you want. That's why we live in America, right? One of the greatest countries because we have that freedom. So vote for who you want. I'm not going to shame that, right? But we and Ty have been registered Democrats for decades. Ty has voted for Democrats for decades, and every time he voted for them, he's rightfully so. Like he's saying, we've gotten nothing for it. Our condition has not improved. It's just smokes. It's just smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Like we've got nothing. So because we've voted for them and we've identified with them, we registered as them, and they've disappointed us and they haven't delivered at all. We feel like we have every right to judge and criticize them, right? So people are saying, "Oh, no, this is why we go so much harder on Kamala, on the Democrats, because we voted for y'all. We put our faith in you. We thought you were going to do better by us, right?" So I just want to kill that noise before it comes, which is, "Oh, you guys are just criticizing one side too heavily." I voted for the Democrats, so because I voted for them, I feel like I'm more tied to them. I'm more invested to them, and when they don't deliver, yeah, you're gonna hear from me. I put my stock in you, not the Republicans. You know what I'm saying, Ty? So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying what you share is valid. Even if people disagree, it's like, bro, that's valid, bro. If you kept voting for them and got nothing out of it, why would you continue to do that, right? And so I just wanted to make that point very clear. So if I could add one more point, Ty, I think that the Democrats don't know what to do with voters who hate the system more than they hate Trump, right? So we have some people who genuinely love Trump. They're going to vote for him no matter what. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's his
Yeah.
base, right? Then we got people who hate both parties and hate where everything's happening so much, hate what the Democrats have done, hate everything, that they're just going to vote for Trump because he's the rogue. He's the guy who has his own money. He's self-funded. He's a self-made million. You know what I mean? Like no one controls him. You know what I'm saying? No one they don't have that power over Trump. He's not like the establishment. He's different. He's not even as pro-war as some of these established candidates. Like I don't see Trump as pro-war. Like I just don't see Trump as a pro-war candidate. I see Kamala as a pro-war candidate. You know what I mean? You getting shout outs from Dick Cheney and all these other war hawks. Like so. I think they don't know what to do with voters who hate the system more than they hate Trump. And they're just like, listen, because we hate the system, even if that means it's going to crash with voting for Trump or the Republican Party, we're willing to take anything else but another 4 years of Kamala or Joe Biden. So they don't know what to do with voters like that. They just don't.
Yeah.
So this is interesting.
Yeah. Listen, I'm loving it. I'm loving the panic in the eyes of Democrats right now that are like, oh, they because first of all, so even if 25% of black men under 50 do vote for Trump, right? That still means 75% of black men is going to vote for Kamala, right? But that 25% is historic.
Right.
Like that could be the difference between winning and losing.
Right.
Because normally y'all can expect 98% of the black vote. Now y'all definitely got 99% of women, but the black men are like, hold up, bro. Like I'm not feeling it, bro. Like I ain't really now. The majority, what 3 out of 4, they still gonna vote. They still gonna vote that way. But that 1 out of 4, bro, that stuff adds up.
Of course it does, bro. And she's also struggling. Kamala's struggling now with Muslim voters, so that's why they're scared of these third-party candidates like the Green Party, Joe Stein, Butch Ware, where they're running and like they have huge support for the Muslim community. So Kamala's not only losing black male voters, but she's also struggling with Muslim voters, and those are huge voting blacks, especially in states like Minnesota. Like, bro, like that could easily swing the election one way or the other, and she's struggling with both those demographics. So they listen, bro. They know that they don't have the win locked in right now, and they're panicking, and they know that. And Kamala just doesn't impress me with her town halls and her debate forums. There's going to be another debate this Tuesday, right? I believe this week there's another debate. Am I tripping or?
No, Trump said he ain't trying to do it.
I'm tripping. We did a news clip and it said the debate's on Tuesday. Maybe it was before that, but no, bro. And once again, if I was to ask anybody voting for Kamala, tell me why you're voting for Kamala without mentioning Trump or reproductive rights. It's crickets. It's crickets. It's crickets. That's it. It's just because either Trump is bad and we can never vote for that, and it's going to be fascism, and we're going to be in death camps, and it's the worst thing ever, or it's because of reproductive rights. Like, tell me why you're voting for Kamala and don't talk about Trump or reproductive rights. Tell me now why. And it's just crickets. And that's why I'm just like, right, you got nothing of substance. You've got nothing of substance, bro. So men are just going a different way, and you cannot shame us into voting one. If you shame us, it's only going to embolden us. So it's going to embolden us. It's going to make us stand harder in what we believe in and where we're going, because you're not going to keep shaming us. What was that chick that was talking about all these Kevin Samuel voters? Like, what's talking some BS about? This is when this is when this is during the Stacey Abrams race for governor when and Black man was like, "No, we ain't voting for Shorty," and she called just trying to shame us, bro. Like, we will not be shamed. And listen, nah, bro, it's not happening.
Not happening, no. And ain't nobody listen. Although I'm voting for Trump, I'm not no doubt. Trump is just an avatar for me, because whether it was Trump or a ham sandwich, I'm still going to vote for it, right?
Right.
Because
You're just not doing the other. Yeah, right. I'm saying, that's how bad they messed up on the other side, bro. I can't even be mad at you, bro. Like, I just can't, because I'm like, I get it. Like, the other side is on some BS. They haven't delivered. They haven't done anything. We're in a worse place where we were before. And it's just like, you have nothing to stand on. So I can't understand people who are like, I'm voting for the ham sandwich, bro. Like,
I mean, y'all let us know, family. Let us know if we tripping. If y'all want to put some comments in there. Bernie Bro Joe here for the smoke. Y'all let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.
Until next time.